Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Dirt 5, the latest game in the Dirt Racing series. This game was developed and published by Codemasters and released on November 6th, 2020 for a price of $59.99. You can pick the game up now in the Xbox stores. It has officially released. Keep in mind this game will also be optimized for Series X and S, so if you do pick up the game, you'll have that nice benefit there. So Dirt 5 does the Dirt series a little differently. Instead of kind of a progressed race system that you unlock, you are now introduced with this pseudo web of paths that you can choose between races. So you'll start out with a few options. You'll complete the first Ultracross, then you can decide to do a Rally Raid or Land Rush. Ultimately, if you want all the achievements, you will have to play and win every single race. And as you progress, you'll be given more and more options to choose from, and based on your decisions, you'll unlock specific races at other locations down the way. Now, the game does introduce a few new things, but also, in my opinion, take away a lot of things that I actually really wish they would not have done. There are the point-to-point races that are still in the game, but instead of you kind of racing against the clock by yourself, you're thrown in with all the other cars. I kind of liked that not being the case in the older Dirt games, especially the original Dirt did such a good job at letting you just go as fast as you can and not have to worry about opponents. But it does introduce a couple other new race modes, such as Icebreaker, where you're driving across the ice trying to race, or Pathfinder, which we'll scroll here and find a Pathfinder race and show you, that is kind of a get from point A to point B, but you're still unfortunately set on a track path. There are a ton of cars, but as far as the customization options, it's more just visual appearance. You can create your own paint schemes, but you can't do much beyond that. So I feel like there's a little bit of a miss there. Traditionally, the Dirt games haven't had much in the customization option for your cars outside of your tuning options. I would love to have seen this far into the series some actual tuning options, be able to upgrade parts outside of just a sponsor who gives you a XP slash financial bonus. That's really all you get. The gameplay is still very fluid and smooth. Driving the cars feels really good, but nonetheless, it doesn't change much in that regard. Dirt already did that really well, and it's just kind of the expected continuation of a system that they've done well. But I feel like they have taken away a lot from the game in what Dirt was and what Dirt kind of separated itself from other racing games. Now, that doesn't mean the game isn't fun, but as you can see there in prior Dirt games, I would have had damage and everything all over my car. Instead, I'm just reset and I keep going versus failing out of the race, which I personally really enjoyed that. I loved the destruction element. I loved watching my car pseudo fall apart, and now unfortunately that's not quite here in the game anymore. The things they do introduce, they introduce well, but they introduce at the risk and lack of not having what really, in my opinion, makes Dirt a core Dirt game and sets it apart from all the other racing franchises out there. Now, some of the other pseudo things that they do introduce in the game, sorry for me super failing at driving, the things that they introduce in the game that I do like is they do have a new track editor. You can design, upload, share tracks and custom courses with other people online, and there's full leaderboard support for basically all the races in the game, so you can challenge your friends and try to best everybody. But there are, not much beyond that. The online multiplayer for me doesn't really change much. There's nothing really to innovate there. I remember some of the old school Dirt games going up to 100 players. Yes, it was kind of pseudo leaderboard tracked racing point-to-point races, but still, that was a thing that I really enjoyed. And, going into the new consoles, not having that bigger player base count, or even maybe beyond, 8 racers in a race, it's definitely a pseudo miss in my books. Nonetheless, the game is still a lot of fun for what it is. It's just the destruction element and the things that have traditionally made Dirt unique in its own way, are kind of missing, and I really pseudo miss those. As well as Gymkhana mode that was really prevalent in the older Dirt games. Isn't really as fun as what it used to be from my experience. Other reviewers may have a whole different opinion, but I definitely feel like it was a better gameplay experience way back when on, the Dirt 1, 2, 3 series of racing games, and just kind of has gone downhill a little bit in that regards. As far as the wide variety of cars, they introduced some sprint cars, tons of different like options you can do, as well as this throwdown mechanic that, as you can see, I've went through the entire career, beat all the races to get to the final race in the game, and I still don't really have a clue how to unlock these throwdown races outside of just working at all the other races. They're basically just one-on-one show-offs, nothing too difficult, so nothing that I'm really too excited about there. The beyond the career mode, about the most fun you're going to have is going into the playgrounds mode here and just discovering other racetracks that people have made. Some pretty fun ones start to get created, and you can share and develop things as you want and then compete against your friends or anybody else in the world at trying to knock out these courses. So that is a very good positive and a thing that I really do enjoy. It's a pseudo Hot Wheels style playground for you to just do whatever you want. The game is accompanied with a really good soundtrack that really always helps keep you engaged. Codemasters has always done a great job with that in the Dirt games in the past. I do have the music turned off, as we will more than likely get copyright flagged for having the music in the games. But aside from that, don't worry about having a dull soundtrack by any means. Driving feels really, really good still in the game, as well as the controls. And overall, it's not a bad game. If you are in the market for the achievements in Dirt, I will let you know it's a very easy achievement game, but you have to put in the time to do so. At the time of this recording, nobody has fully beat the game because Codemasters was nice enough to put an achievement in the game that requires you to drive 10,000 miles. And after completing, the story run and just doing a lot of the playground races that I've done, I think I'm 1% of the way in that achievement. So, as you can imagine, you'll have a lot of time to go and work toward getting that one. As far as recommending the game, if you're a Dirt fan, I'm going to recommend it. But if you're not a big Dirt fan and you haven't, pseudo played the older Dirt games, I'm honestly going to more recommend checking out the older Dirt games before you jump into Dirt 5. I personally would want you to get a really good impression of the Dirt series, and I feel like Dirt 5 tries to do some new innovative stuff leading into a next console generation, but they kind of just forgot their, bread and butter of what's really enjoyable in the franchise. But aside from that, guys, if I had to give Dirt 5 any type of a rating, I'm honestly going to give it a... Honestly, it's kind of hard for me because I'm such a big fan of the Dirt games, and, this isn't what I wanted it to be. This is something a little different that's trying to be more than what it's not. I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Let me know down in the comments. I just think there's a lot of myths in, what Dirt really is compared to trying to copy some of the other racing game franchises like, Forza or Need for Speed or Burnout or any of those. Aside from that, guys, if you want to pick up the game, we'll have a link down in the description. If you want to see more in the game, we do have a gameplay video up on the channel you can go check out. Shows off a couple of the other races that you're not quite getting to see here in the video. But aside from that, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you also have Discord, we'll have a Discord link down below. Feel free to join our Discord. We are always giving away games every week, and we want to give you guys a chance to win some free games. But aside from that, guys, I'm Fire. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you guys next time. We'll finish out this race, and you all enjoy going into the next consoles next week. Have a good one, guys.